Hi, this is Deborah Atkinson, the voice for fitness and the author of Navigating Fitness After 50, your GPS for choosing programs and professionals that you can trust. And I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about resistance training and the 3 things that you need to know about weight training or resistance training. We're going to use those words interchangeably today in order for you to have optimal aging, optimal strength, optimal stamina, optimal endurance, optimal ability to do whatever it is you want to do on any given day of the rest of your life. That's the ideal program, isn't it? So the purpose of going to the gym and exercising, or going downstairs to your own private exercise studio and exercising, isn't so you can get good at the exercise. It's so that the exercises help you get good at the things outside that you love to do. So if that's your goal too, keep listening. Let's talk about these 3 things. Because right now, there's no doubt if you perked up when you saw a title like this, things that every woman needs to know about weight training, you're getting a lot of information, but maybe not sure what to trust. So I have an H, a P, and an F here, and here's what they stand for. You need 3 different types of resistance training exercise. As a woman over 50, you need heavy strength training. And by heavy, here's what I mean. Don't be afraid, as long as your joints will tolerate it, and they might not at the beginning, but we slowly progress to this point. You need weights that will fatigue you in 10 repetitions. And in some cases, if you can tolerate that, that might fatigue you in 8. And don't be afraid of 6 if you're strong and you're healthy. Because if you really want to optimize bone density or slowing the loss of your bone density, because after the age of 50, we really can't put a lot back. We're losing it. We're withdrawing from that bank. But we can put the brakes on those losses to make a significant change from if you were not exercising to now that you are, what's your status? And if you look at over a decade, if someone not exercising might lose anywhere from 1 to 3% a year, that's anywhere from 10 to 30% of their bone density in a decade. That's an awful lot. If you can slow that to no more than 1% and maybe no loss at all, then you're at 0 to 10 instead of between 10 and 30% loss. That's pretty significant. I'd say that's worth it. So here's what you need to know though. Picking up small pink dumbbells will not help your bone density. Now it might help you with rotator cuff issues or things for physical therapy that you need to do first before you can do heavy, if you can still tolerate heavy. But if you're able, you need to do heavy weight, fatiguing at 10 in order to promote bone density, but the other side is the muscle. If you really want to do the most good for your muscle, picking up a small dumbbell and doing it 20 to 30 times is not the same as picking up a heavier dumbbell that you can only lift 10. You can't trade that off. The bone density doesn't improve with higher repetitions of a smaller weight. The muscle benefits somewhat, but we also want to be careful about wearing those muscles out, right? If you'd rather be swinging a golf club 20 or 30 more times in your life, be careful of overdoing it with small weights many, many times. Heavy is important, bone density primarily, and then muscle, and maintaining that lean muscle mass that you are also losing at a rapid rate. P stands for power. In a recent study, we divided one group into slow, controlled exercise using a heavier weight, and another group of a powerful push or pull, and then slowly setting the weight down. We call that power because it was heavy together with speed. The group who did the power, and both groups did it for 12 weeks, the group who did the power experienced more reduction in bone losses than did the group who had the slow controlled rate. So if you're able to tolerate it and you've progressed to the point where you've gone from not doing anything at all to very gradually doing heavier to gradually adding power, very appropriately for you, power will help you with the benefit of bone density and lean muscle mass. So I have one more thing here, and that is functional exercise. This right now is a buzzword to be aware of. So there are a lot of people out there, fitness professionals, who will try and convince you that functional exercise is the only way to go. The problem with that formula is that no one clearly knows the definition of functional exercise. If you are my 87, almost 88-year-old mother, I want you to be able to get up and out of a chair easily. And in order to do that, a functional exercise is some kind of a leg press or a squat, because you need to be able to propel yourself out, and it mimics that exercise with a little greater load so that when it's only your body weight, you can do it. Now, I might have you balancing and doing some other things that rotate and move you more like sweeping the floor and vacuuming, that are more lifelike, that are truly more functional in terms of what we define it as in the fitness industry right now. But I need you to get up out of that chair before you can vacuum, right? So the definition of function depends on you. And no one should tell you that every person should have this type of function. You should have the function that only you can own, based on your range of motion, based on the goals that you have for what you want to do outside of the gym, based on being pain-free. And every exercise chosen should be chosen for a reason. And if it is, then it's a functional exercise. So consider that. Yes, we want to incorporate things that challenge your balance so that you can get better at it. We want to move you through all three planes of movement at some point during your exercise session. But we also sometimes do have to isolate muscles, and we sometimes have to take you back to doing linear movements using machine weights that sometimes trainers are shying away from using, thinking that's not functional. But again, if you're my 87-year-old mom, I want you to be able to, for the next decade, get out of that chair on your own and do whatever you want to do the rest of the day. Now, maybe it's vacuum, but maybe it's not. So you need heavy, you need power, and you need functional exercise. Generally all within the same exercise session. One thing you will find is that functional exercise, and I am a fan, don't let me tell you that I'm not, you can do more frequently because it's not quite as much of a load and doesn't require quite so much of rest and recuperation between. But between exercises or sets of a functional exercise and then move to another exercise, you need a little more time between them during the same exercise session, because your brain has to work a little harder, and you're hard away up here trying to plug in more chords, which is a good thing for memory and cognitive fitness. But there's a big difference between what you need. Make sure you pick a trainer and get some help so that you have somebody who can guide you through what are those things that I need to know that I wouldn't have known I needed to ask. And if that was helpful, click right here. If you're not already on our list, get there and share this with a friend, because we all need to age more actively and enjoy every day that we're here. And I'll see you on the other side.